You're standing in a phone store looking at two Google Pixels, and the salesperson is pushing you toward the flagship. $600 for the Pixel 10 with the latest processor and better cameras. But right next to it sits the Pixel 9a at $400, and from what you can see on the spec sheet, it does most of the same things. The gap between budget and flagship used to be obvious. Now it's murky, and you're trying to figure out if those extra $200 buy you meaningful improvements or just bragging rights. We're comparing the Google Pixel 9a against the Google Pixel 10. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one delivers the features you'll actually use and which one is charging premium prices for incremental upgrades most people will never notice. Let's start with what actually powers these phones, because processor performance affects everything you do. The Pixel 10 runs on Google's Tensor G5 chip. This is Google's most powerful processor yet, designed specifically for Android and AI tasks. It handles heavy multitasking without breaking a sweat. You can have a dozen apps open, switch between them instantly, and never see lag or stuttering. If you edit videos on your phone, play graphics-intensive games like Genshin Impact or Call of Duty Mobile, or use demanding AI features constantly, the Tensor G5 keeps everything running smoothly even under sustained load. The Pixel 9a uses the Tensor G4 from last year's flagship lineup. This is important context. The chip in the budget phone today was powering Google's premium phones 12 months ago. For everyday activities, scrolling through social media, browsing the web, using navigation, streaming video, taking photos, the Tensor G4 handles everything without issues. Your apps open quickly. Your phone doesn't freeze or lag during normal use. The performance is genuinely good for the vast majority of what people do with their phones. Here's where the difference shows up. Sustained heavy use. If you're editing a 10-minute 4K video on your phone, the Tensor G5 maintains full speed throughout the render. The Tensor G4 starts strong but throttles slightly after a few minutes of continuous heavy processing to prevent overheating. If you're playing a graphically demanding game for 2 hours straight, the Tensor G5 holds higher frame rates longer. The Tensor G4 is still playable but drops frames more noticeably after extended sessions. For casual users who check email, browse Instagram, and occasionally edit a photo, this performance gap is invisible. For power users pushing their phone hard daily, it becomes relevant. Now let's talk about cameras, because this is where phone comparisons get emotional. People care deeply about photo quality, and Google has built its Pixel reputation on camera performance. The Pixel 9a gives you Google's incredible Pixel camera system with full AI photo editing capabilities. This isn't a compromised budget camera, it's genuinely excellent. In good lighting, you're getting sharp, detailed photos with accurate colors and Google's signature computational photography that makes even casual snapshots look professional. Night sight handles low-light situations remarkably well, pulling detail out of darkness that other phone cameras miss entirely. The Pixel 9a includes features like Add Me, which uses AI to insert you into group photos after the fact so nobody has to miss being in the picture. Best Take lets you combine the best faces from multiple shots of the same group, fixing that problem where someone always has their eyes closed. Macro Focus lets you get incredibly close to small subjects like flowers, insects, or jewelry and capture intricate details that would normally require a dedicated macro lens. For someone taking photos of family, friends, food, and everyday moments, the Pixel 9a camera produces results that rival phones costing twice as much. The Pixel 10 takes the camera system further with an upgraded triple rear camera setup. The key addition is a new 5x telephoto lens with up to 20x super residential zoom. This isn't just digital cropping that turns everything into a pixelated mess. It's actual optical zoom that maintains sharpness and detail even at distance. If you're at your kid's soccer game and they score a goal from across the field, the Pixel 10 captures that moment with clarity. If you're hiking and spot wildlife 50 feet away, you can zoom in and get a usable photo. The Pixel 9a's digital zoom at that distance produces blur and noise. The Pixel 10's night sight is also improved, delivering even clearer low-light photos with better color accuracy and less noise. It includes Camera Coach, which analyzes your composition in real time and gives you tips on framing, lighting, and angle to help you take better photos. This is genuinely useful if you're trying to improve your photography skills beyond just pointing and shooting. The question you need to ask yourself: how often do you zoom into distant subjects? If the answer is frequently, you attend a lot of sports events, concerts, you photograph wildlife, you're traveling and shooting architecture from a distance, the Pixel 10's telephoto lens is a legitimate upgrade worth paying for. If you mostly take close-up photos of people, food, and nearby objects, the Pixel 9a delivers virtually identical quality for those shots. Before we go deeper, you're going to encounter dozens more Pixel comparisons online claiming the A series is essentially the same as the flagship, or that you absolutely must spend $600 to get a decent Pixel experience. Neither statement is accurate, and both are designed to push you toward a specific purchase. I'm testing every Pixel model across every price point to show you exactly where the performance differences actually matter in daily use, and where manufacturers are simply upselling features that sound impressive on paper but don't change your real-world experience. If you want to cut through the marketing and know which Pixel phones deliver genuine value for different types of users before you waste money on specs you'll never utilize, hit the subscribe button below this video. You'll see which models are worth buying and which ones are overpriced. Display quality affects every single interaction you have with your phone. The Pixel 10 features a 6.3-inch Actua display with a peak brightness of 3000 nits. That brightness number is genuinely impressive and solves a real problem: outdoor readability. If you've ever tried to use your phone in direct sunlight and found yourself squinting, cupping your hand around the screen, or giving up entirely and walking into shade, you understand this frustration. The Pixel 10's 3000 nit display stays perfectly readable even in harsh midday sun. You can see your GPS navigation clearly while driving. You can respond to texts while standing outside. You can take photos and actually see what you're composing on screen. The display uses Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2, which is currently the most scratch-resistant and impact-resistant glass available for phone screens. It's not invincible, but it survives keys in your pocket, accidental drops onto concrete, and daily wear significantly better than standard glass. The colors are vibrant, blacks are deep, and the screen refresh feels smooth and responsive. The Pixel 9a has a smaller display with lower peak brightness. Links to both phones are in the description. If this comparison helped you finally make a decision, subscribe so you'll see which phones are actually worth upgrading to when your current device needs replacing. Choose the Pixel that matches your actual usage and budget, and stop second-guessing yourself.